Today we're going to be learning about multiplying fractions. In today's lesson, you are going to be able to find the products involving fractions, and then tomorrow we're going to look at mixed numbers. So by the end of our lesson today, you should be able to draw a model and explain how fractions can multiply using a model. And then you should be able to multiply fractions. Tomorrow we're going to look at products with mixed numbers and then be able to interpret products with mixed numbers, fractions, products in real life situations. So we're going to look at this essential question of how do we multiply fractions using a model? So how do we multiply fractions using a model? It's all going to be in the vocabulary. So we're going to be looking at what vocabulary. It's a little bit blurry. Let's unblur this. There you go. All right, we're going to be looking at the multiplication sign and using the vocabulary word of. So when we're looking at this, we have this, it says find 1/4 of 1/2. So we're going to have a model that looks something like this. Okay, and our model is just basically a big giant rectangle, and our rectangle is going to be cut into 8 pieces. So I'm going to cut it in half first, and then I'm going to cut that in half again, and then there's 4 pieces, cut that in half. All right, now I have 8 pieces. So I want to know what is 1/4 of 1/2. So when I find 1/4 times 1/2, this of really just is multiplication. So if I were to use a model like the one that I have here, I have this whole entire thing. This is a whole. I'm looking for half of it because it says of 1/2. So I'm going to color 1/2. Half of it would be 4 chunks because 8 is a whole. So half would be right here. And now I only need 1/4 of my half. So 1/4 of my half would just be that little piece right there. So 1/4 of this half that I have right here, so this is 1/4 of 1/2, is an 1/8. So this little chunk right here is considered an 1/8 piece because I had to cut this into 8 pieces in order to get 1/4. So this equals 1/8. So that means that the product is actually 1/8. So if we wanted to do a model of, if I needed to do another try it, I'm going to have you do this try it, and I wanted to say, have you do 1/3 times 1/5, you would be looking for, just tell me what you would be looking for. If you want to draw the model, you can. Otherwise, just tell me what you're going to be looking for. What's the of? What piece are you going to be looking for? You can go ahead and pause the video right now. Okay, so this really means 1/3 of 1/5. So that means that if I was to multiply using a model, I would have to cut the whole into 1/5 and color 1/3 of that model. So I'd have to cut it into 5 pieces and then cut that 1/5 into 1/3. Okay? All right. Let's move on to the next one. So you did this in elementary school, so I don't want to spend a ton of time on that. I want to get to the part where we're just looking at how do you really multiply fractions. So that way we can just get to using the multiplication piece. Okay, so when we're looking at multiplying fractions, we are going to do, let's see here. When we're multiplying fractions, we're going to use just straight multiplication. Okay, so we're going to look at using some vocabulary. So we're going to continue on with this. I want to know, how do you find 8/9 times 3/4? So 8/9 times 3/4. So 8/9 times 3/4. Well, in this sense, I would just multiply the numerators and the denominators to get the answer. So in this sense, I don't need to use a model. So how would I do this without a model? So multiply without a model. I would multiply the numerator. And what's the numerator? Yep, it's the number on top. So we'll just put that there. Top number. Good. Okay, and then I would multiply the denominator. I am the denominator. Yep. That's when you do your best Arnold Schwarzenegger impersonation. Okay, and then you're going to multiply the denominator. All right, and that is the bottom numbers. Okay, and that's not a hashtag, that's a number sign. Yeah, I know. Kids just, they don't understand that that's just like a number sign. That's been a number sign before it was a pound sign. I know, it's crazy. Okay, so this now looks like 8 times 3 over 9 times 4. And so 8 times 3, we get 24. And 9 times 4, we get 36. And we could stop right here, because as 6th graders, you are allowed to stop right here and call this 24/36. But your job is to get ready for 7th grade. So you can actually divide this number down. I see that I can divide both of these down into simplest form because this is not as small a fraction as this can go. So I can actually make this fraction even smaller and divide it by 2. So if I divide in half, because this is an even number and this is an even number, I can divide it by 2 and divide it in half. I get 12 over 18. And now look, I can do it again. I can divide it in half again. And I get 6 over 9. And I could even divide it again. Do you see another number that makes this even smaller? Another number that 6 and 9 both have in common? 3? You are totally right. Yes, 3 can go into both of these numbers. So I can divide by 3 and divide by 3, and I can get 2 over 3. And guess what? This is a small fraction in simplest form. This fraction is the same or equivalent to this fraction. It means the same thing. This fraction, 24/36, is the same fraction as 12/18. 12/18 is the same fraction as 6/9. 6/9 is the same fraction as 2/3. These all mean the exact same thing. They're just in smaller versions. So, but you just did 7th grade work instead of doing just 6th grade work. That's pretty cool, right? So you don't have to do the 7th grade work if you don't want to, but it's always good to challenge yourself. Okay, so the product then of 8/9 times 3/4 is 24/36, or you can multiply it or divide it all the way down and go to 2/3. It's always fun to challenge ourselves. Okay, I want you to do a try it for me. And your try it is going to be, there's going to be 2 try it's. Okay, so let's check. Your try it here is 3/7. This is actually try it number 4. 3/7 times 2/3. And then try it number 5. And try it number 5 says 4/9 times 3/10. So go ahead and pause the video right now so that you don't hear me explaining to you how to do those 2 try-its. And then we will solve them. Okay, so 3 times 2 is 6. 7 times 3 is 21. And I know that I have pink pen all over my hand. Look at that. Okay. 3 can go, you can stop right there if you want, but I know that I want to do 7th grade work. So I'm going to challenge myself. And I'm going to divide this by 3 because I know 3 goes into both of these numbers right here. And 6 divided by 3 is 2. And 21 divided by 3 is 7. Oh my gosh. 2/7 is the smallest form. But I'm just a 6th grader, so Miss Englander will take either of these 2 answers right there because both of those fractions are equivalent. So whichever one of those 2 answers you have, we will take. All right, the next one, let's check it. We have 4 times 3, which equals 12. And we have 9 times 10, which equals 90. Woo! Big boy! That's a big number. All right, here we go. We're going to divide this guy down. And let's see. What number can go into 12? That's kind of a big number. How about 3? Can 3 go into 90? Yeah, I think it can. Okay, let's divide by 3 and divide by 3. And that gives me 4. And that will give me what? Like... Let's do this. That goes in 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 0 and 0, so it's 30. And then I can divide that down again by 2 over 2, and that gives me 2/15. And 2/15 can't be any smaller, so I can either have 12/90, I could have 4/30, or I could have 2/15. Okay, your job right now is to rate yourself and tell me, how do we multiply fractions? Explain to me, how do you multiply fractions? And you get bonus points if you tell me how to multiply fractions using vocabulary words. Ooh, bonus points for vocab. Oh, and if you use simplest form, try to use that word simplest form in there. Okay, also then after you summarize for me, how do we do it? So write your summary, how do we do it? Answer your essential question. I want you to tell me out of 3 points off to the side, how are you feeling about multiplying fractions? Miss Englander, I can multiply fractions in my sleep. Give me a 3. 2, I need more practice with this because I want to challenge myself. Or because I'm still kind of struggling with how to multiply straight across, or using a model. I want to use a model and I need to challenge myself with that. So I'm going to go to Big Ideas, or I'm going to go to IXL and practice some more. Or I need help with this, so I'm still at a 1. I have no clue how to multiply fractions. All right, thanks for your hard work today, you guys. You did awesome, and make it a great day the Cougar way. Bye!